So, hi everyone. I am Joanne from the Maplewood Library, and welcome to our National Poetry Month program with Sonya Kimble-Ellis. Sonya is a writer of many talents, including being a published poet. Her book of poetry is Stages, Poetry and Prose that Reflect a Life's Journey. Many of you know her from her work at JESPY House, and we have some guests here tonight that will share their work with us. The way the world is right now, I think we need poetry more than ever. So thank you, Sonya, and welcome.
Hey, hi everyone, and thank you, Joanne, so much, and thank you to the Maplewood Public Library for hosting this event. As always, thanks so much for your ongoing support, and I want to thank all of our guest poets for agreeing to join me tonight. The title and theme of tonight is going to be inclusion, experience, and ideas. And the inspiration for the title pretty much came to me just kind of thinking about the importance of inclusion and as it relates to people of all races, physical and intellectual disabilities, various economic backgrounds, sexual orientation, and the importance about those things and about our experiences related to that. So that's pretty much what tonight and some of the poems are going to address. As Joanne mentioned, my name is Sonya Kimble-Ellis. I'm a writer and children's book author. I've worked for various magazines as an editor and writer. And as she also mentioned, I'm a communication specialist for JESPY House in South Orange. We support clients with intellectual and developmental disabilities. I'm joined tonight, as I said earlier, by three talented writers. They are Anthony Lafond, who I worked with as a writing facilitator for him at Matheny as part of the Arts Access program. The same will be said of Isabelle Villacis, who is also a writer. And we also have JESPY House client Ruth C. So thank you guys for joining me. What we're going to do is kind of a round robin in reading the poems. And so I'm thinking that maybe, Tony, if you don't mind, maybe you can start us off and read two poems of yours.
Sure. Hello, everybody. Hi, I'm Tony. I'm also a published author, but I am self-published. And my poems are usually about love and relationships. But tonight, most of my poems are going to be about my wheelchair. The first one I'm going to read is called "I'm a Slave to You." I'm a slave to you. I can't go when I want to. I can't go without you. I'm a slave to you. I'm supposed to be happy being with you. I'm supposed to be grateful. I'm supposed to love you. But I hate you. I hate the way you make me feel. I hate how you are always there. I hate that I'm a slave to you. My life is surrounded by what you do for me. I just want to get rid of you, but I can't survive without you. I need you, and you know that. You laugh with the knowledge that I am nothing without you. I am no one without you. That without you, I am stuck in one position, destined to stare out the window and watch the world go by. I'm a slave to you. Yet I called you God's gift to me. I care for you, and I call myself your father. I say you are me, and I you. I shall never forget that. But in actuality, I'm a slave, forever strapped to you, and to die with you by my side. The next one is also about a wheelchair. This one's called Sitting Here. I'm sick of sitting here in this chair at the mercy of the merciless. I want to get up and do things for myself, not have to wait for you just to get out of bed. I want to grab a fork, cut my food, pour a drink, and I'm so sick that I can't. I have to say please and thank you for things done for me that I can't do. I have to tiptoe each night, afraid that what I ask will start a fight. I have to let perfectly imperfect people touch me and make sure me, being a man, won't offend. Forced to have no secrets, no privacy, and I have to thank you for your service when I just want to live. I'm sick of sitting here, unable but not unwilling to help myself. And that's the end of that.
Okay, thank you, Tony. Thank you so much. So I want to mention, can everyone hear me? Okay. Okay, so I want to be sure to mention, as Tony said, he is a published poet who has written several poetry books. He's also written several novels. And before the program ends, we want to make sure to mention all of his books or where they can be found or purchased, and the same of Isabelle, where you can purchase her book. Tony is also a college student, and he also has worked as an artist, a painter. So he does that as well, just in terms of facilitation and just artistic expression. Okay, so let's go on to Ruth. Ruth, I've worked with as a writer at JESPY House. Ruth enjoys writing various types of pieces. I know that she also enjoys gardening and quite a few other things. So Ruth, maybe you can tell us a little bit about yourself and then share 2 pieces with us. One moment, Ruth. We need to have get you unmuted.
Yeah, Ruth, I'm going to ask you to unmute yourself. I can't do it from my end. There you go.
Okay. I'm trying to learn various things now, like cooking. I'm going to do some cooking after this program ends. And I'm trying to learn gardening, better social skills. I'm trying to learn the computer and all that. I'm trying to get to be more well-rounded, travel more. I'm trying to expand my horizons, be more independent right now.
Yes, yeah, those things sound great. They all sound perfect. Okay, so you want to share 2 pieces with us?
Yes, the pandemic. Who would have thought of this? Everyone wearing masks. Masks usually were only for Halloween. The masks protect us from the COVID virus. The virus has affected everyone, young and old. Little babies like toddlers wear masks. I heard that even animals could catch COVID. Consider yourself lucky if you only get a mild case of COVID. Pharmaceutical companies are trying to develop cocktails that could minimize the COVID symptoms. This is after you get the COVID. Before you get the COVID, they are trying to prevent it by vaccinating you. They have a vaccine now that is 1 dose that is supposed to help you. This is a new invention. The 2-dose vaccines are new inventions too. Science really worked hard to help people with COVID. This year is going down as a lost year, but not for some. Some people have learned altogether new skills from COVID. They have learned new languages and indoor gardening. They have also learned how to use their laptops more. They have learned how to socially distance. We have washed our hands until they are raw. Some people say that during COVID, when people didn't go to work as much, there wasn't so much flu and air pollution. That was an unexpected benefit of COVID. COVID may have done some good in some way. I am really glad that we are slowly getting out of the pandemic, even though it was pretty cool wearing the decorative masks. Now I have another one.
Okay.
Another thing. Oh, there's more about COVID. The more you wash your hands, the better everything. We try to keep everything clean in the house. We wash our handles and doorknobs. We clean handles on furniture and stoves. We clean out the sockets in closets. We clean light sockets. We even clean any place that hands have touched, even the stove handles. We have hand sanitizer that is in the shape of a hand. That is really cool idea. You could use a hand sanitizer, give it to someone and say, give you a hand, partner. That's almost like in the Old West. And now I have another one here. Life. Always think that behind every problem, there is a solution. Things can change and things can be fixed. There are healthy ways of looking at things. We can all grow and learn from other people. We can do a lot of learning and developing. Every day we learn a little bit and add to our store of knowledge. We can become different people and better people. We become more in tune with the world.
All right, very nice. Thanks for sharing, Ruth. Okay, so I'm thinking next we'll have Isabelle Molasses. Isabelle is also a writer and poet who recently published a book of poetry. She is involved with choreography, painting, and probably other things that I'm not even thinking of right now. But Isabelle, if you would like, you can tell us a little bit more about yourself if you want, before reading your first piece.
And unmute yourself, Isabel. Isabel?
Isabelle, are you able to? I think she is unmuted. No. Isabelle, try to unmute yourself.
Yes, I'm sorry that I don't have the control.
I'm sorry.
Beautiful.
My name is Isabelle Velasquez. I'm an artist and a writer. Good evening, everyone.
Okay, so Isabelle, you're going to share one piece with us, right?
Yes, it's called dancing.
Okay.
Dancing is extremely powerful and amazing. And with deep energy and passion, love for the arts forever and always.
Okay, great. Thank you. Very good. Okay, and so I'm going to actually follow up and I'm going to read Isabelle's next poem. It is entitled The Lover of Her Dreams. The lover of her dreams is somewhere in the path of the unknown. It is very surreal and also indescribable in a way that someone can't explain it in the mind of a human being. Every so often, wandering through her own mind are thousands of thoughts at the same time. So fast, quickly, and time passes by like the clock every single day. Every single day, it's like the clock on the wall. The clock is ticking so rapidly in her own mind. But that's okay for now, because everything will come with a lot of patience and also in the right time. So that's by Isabelle Villacis. Okay.
Thank you, Sonya.
You are welcome. Okay, so now I'm going to share two of my poems with everyone. The first one is titled, You Ask Me. And it's kind of based on a conversation that I had with someone several years ago, and it kind of stuck with me for a while. And I always said I would write a poem about it, and I decided recently to write the poem. So it's called You Ask Me. You ask me, what does it feel like to walk? I pause, trying to search for an answer. I wonder, how should I answer? Because no one had ever asked me that before. I never had to think about that before. I was never unable to do that before. Sure, I'm very clear about that blessing, but never spent time addressing something I'd easily done every single day. You ask me innocently, with eyes wide open, waiting for my answer. What does it feel like to walk? So I answer as honestly as I can, and I tell you the truth, which was, I'm not sure how to explain it to you. Not just yet, but please get this. For now, why don't you tell me what it feels like to ride, to glide in your chair? Tell me if there are places, spaces, or days when it feels like you're driving on air. Let's go there. Because just like you, there's something that I too want to know. You ask me, then I ask something of you. Give me some time, then let's come back and talk. Because I truly want to tell you what it feels like to walk. Thank you.
Cool.
Okay, so I'm going to share one other one for you, and then we'll continue our round robin. This poem is from my most recent poetry book called Stages, and it's called Missions in the DR. It's kind of based on a missions trip that I took with Evangel Church a couple of years ago. We went to the Dominican Republic. So I'm going to read an excerpt from that, okay? Okay. Motorbikes scurry by in a blur. Some carry 3, as many as 4 people. Trucks brim with ganepas or guinep, plantain or guava, pineapples or guanaba or soursop, and more. The colors are brighter than I'd ever seen. Emerald green, sunshine yellow, coral blue. The cool kaleidoscope moves in rhythm with the other vehicles on the road. I'm here on missions, somehow believing to make a difference in the lives of people I have yet to meet. There are 14 of us, visiting Santo Domingo, Bani, Sabana Larga, Catalina, San Jose. There are townspeople, Dominican, Haitian, most open and receptive to hear and receive God's best, while others struggle to discover how to love each other, in spite of their differences and their similarities. As we travel through gravel-covered streets, the sound of music and the sweet aroma of an upcoming meal represents joy, comfort, and a sense of home. We visit the unwell, orphans with warm, smiling faces. There's worship in small churches and tree-filled backyards that overflow with children and families. We dance, sing, praise. Then we say, let's draw, jump rope, and begin again tomorrow. Allow us to pray for you, to bring clothes for you, feed you, rice for a week, maybe 2. And then, is it enough? How long will it last? I am not sure. But let's just focus on today. Thank you for asking me to pray for you, for your sick child. Thank you. Teachers who have dedication and they teach students against any odds. There are unpainted classrooms, some without desks, chairs, world globes, or chalkboards. There are unpaved walkways, incomplete construction. Still, these teachers stay with us for hours, sharing, creating decorations, and words of inspiration for the children that will come through those doors. Thank you. Okay, we're going to continue on. Mr. Lafond, why don't we come back to you and have you read a couple more, 2 more.
Okay. So this one's not really about my disability, but a disabling addiction I might have had. Yeah. This one's called Last Sip.
Okay, great.
I spend the day thinking about where I am. It's not where I want to be. I'm not even acting like me. Continuing my way through everything. No, not everything is okay, and I don't think it'll ever be. But I get up every day and try to find my way and still get lost in a journey to nowhere. The only comfort is a glass full of eraser, the hard stuff, the kind that knocked me out, to help me forget, to tell myself this is the last sip. But it's not. The bottle knows my pain and wraps its comforting embrace around me. As I sip the final drop, I find myself drifting on a drunken vendor in hopes not to remember, floating away on a current of the liquid sea. As I float, my mind blinds to the drunkenness. I'm hazy and content here. Why pull myself out of a floating, burning liquor river, the ocean of forgotten thoughts? Why work so hard to get back what was lost? No, instead, I put down the empty bottle, tell myself this is the last sip, and crack open yet another bottle and ride the familiar waves once again. In hopes to keep my feelings at bay, this bottle's only job is to take this bad taste of life away. My mind is blank, but I know my liver will pay. And that's okay. I'll let loose and smile, knowing I'll be dead one day. No, that's another one. And last one, okay. And this one is more of a letter. I just wrote this a couple days ago, actually.
Okay.
To my fellow people, dear disabled, ultra-abled, handicapped, and challenged. This is all for you. This is for those who lost hope. This is for those who want to let go, give up, and end it all. This is for those who feel lost, hopeless, who feel they are nothing, not worth it. This is for those who may not have a voice or scared to use it. I'm here to say you are worth everything and more. Your voice matters, your feelings matter. Don't give up. Nothing in this world should have the power over you. Don't stay down. We are a strong people. Pick yourself up, dust off the negative thoughts. At every turn, break down a barrier. It can be a public barrier or even a personal barrier. Just break it down. When you are at the end of your rope, grab another one and tie them together. Make that damn rope longer and tighter. Make it so you'll never fall again. To withstand whatever the world throws in your path. Come together for each other. Talk to someone. Seek help from friends and loved ones. Find groups, create opportunities. But don't feel sorry for yourself. Don't blame the world and don't blame your challenges. Know your limits and smash them if you can. Life is awesome, bad or good, your life is amazing and important. Be a king or queen of your own self. Be your own critic and aim to prove your negative self wrong. Don't get lazy, but don't overwork yourself. Listen to your body, use your mind, just simply live. Okay.
I like that, Tony. I like the positivity. We need that positivity right now with so many different things going on in the world. So thank you for that. Okay, Miss Ruth, we're going to turn it back over to you. I think we need you to take yourself off mute for a moment, Ruth.
I'm off it now.
Yes, perfect.
Contentment. We have to be satisfied with what we have. We don't always feel bad for the things that we don't have. We have to be grateful for what we can do. We don't always feel discontent for what we can't do. We can always learn to do more things. We never stop learning and growing. Then I have another one, mistakes. Mistakes and problems can be learning experiences. They can lead us on to more learning experiences. Everything in life is experience. Experience teaches you what works and what doesn't work. Then we can learn.
Okay. I like the positivity theme we have going. Very nice, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you, thank you. Okay, so let's see, Isabelle, why don't you read one more and then I'll read another one of yours. Let's see, I think you have to take yourself off mute again, I believe. Okay, we'll give Isabelle a few seconds.
I
Okay, perfect, there you go.
the poem of grace, guys.
Let's see, we can't really see your face too well. Maybe you can lift the phone up a little bit more.
Can you see it now?
No, I think your video went out. Okay,
Can you see-
perfect.
I have for you guys day, the rainy day and gray skies. The rain is coming for the ground for everything to grow. In the garden, it's so beautiful to see with your own eyes. It is a beautiful thing to see because it happens in the blink of an eye. The love of nature is a wonderful thing, that's for sure.
Beautiful, thank you. The Poem of Gray Skies by Miss Isabelle Villacis. And I'm going to read an excerpt of one of Isabel's pieces from her new book titled The Reflections of Isabelle Molasses. The piece is titled Differently Abled Individuals. And I'm going to read, as I mentioned, an excerpt from that book. All of the differently abled individuals are intelligent in different ways. Remember the words that your mom or friends gave you, the words of encouragement for the differently abled people. Keep moving forward every day. Don't let anything stop you, no matter what happens. Just keep going at it because differently abled people are strong. They're not weak. They're not perfect, but they make it through. Nobody is perfect. It doesn't matter what the obstacle or struggle that the differently abled person is going through. Just remember that there's something that they can do, that they're useful even though they are differently abled. They can be a good friend and somebody who will never let you down, and they are somebody you can count on. They want to be seen and they want to be heard to the whole world so that they know that they exist. They won't hide. They should never hide or feel ashamed. They just need a little bit of help. They can be helpful and they can be productive. The differently able want to be participants in whatever is going on. They don't want to be missing in action. They are unique and have their own characteristics, personalities, and abilities. Differently able people have their own identities and qualities and sense of humor. They have their own specialties that they're good at. If people give them chances to demonstrate what they can do, they could see their abilities instead of the wheelchair. They could see the people that they truly are. There are differently able people who are not verbal or who use sign language. Take the time to see them and don't leave them out. Make them part of the group. Ask them if they want to participate. And that's by Isabelle Velasquez.
Very good.
And very true, right?
Thank
Very
you
true.
very much.
Yes, very true, Isabelle. Okay, so I'm going to continue on and I will read two pieces. And actually, I think time will permit. I know, Ruth, you have one more. Which
I think-
all
yeah.
right, I'll come back to you on that. And Tony, I don't know if you want to read something else. I'll come back to you as well. Is that okay? Okay. All right. Okay, so this next piece, actually I wrote a couple of months ago when the pandemic started, and we had so many different things that were going on in the world. And so those two things kind of inspired it. Just some kind of social and political things that were going on, some unrest. And this is the result. So the poem is called It's Vital. Okay. My blood pressure is up. My vitals are vital. This pandemic is vital. These protests, this uprising is vital. Being able to breathe is vital. These tears, my tears, the tears of mothers, sisters, brothers who have lost sons senselessly are vital. The spring of 2020 should have been a season where we were basking in a sun that shined and flowers that bloomed. Instead, it was filled with despair, rage, and gloom. This virus that unleashed death, joblessness, and a down economy is vital. Face masks and social distancing are vital. But how do we safely stand together when lives depend on us standing apart? Standing apart got us here to this place of misplaced looting, pellet gun shooting. There will be no more muting of us, just justice. The fire next time is now. America is burning. Standing against hate is vital. Standing on what's right is vital. Change is vital. Where do you stand? And that's that one. Thank you.
Good job.
Thank you, Isabel. Okay, so this next piece is actually from my book as well. And it's just kind of like a tribute to some of the artists that I'm a big fan of and who were inspirations to me. And just kind of addressing some of the things that they kind of dealt with through their careers. And it's called Paris. It was the city that called to Baldwin, Nina, and Miles. It gave refuge from a place that refused to hug its hometown sons and daughters. A place that left them feeling more like misunderstood, mistreated stepchildren instead of the inspired deliverers of sonnets, songs, and stanzas that soared. They soared over and around a people with a palpable respect for the space and spirit it takes to turn your pain into pleasure, turn your fears into a future. Paris was the place that allowed their art to mirror their reflections. No rejections and no objections. Yet there was still a semblance of an allegiance to a place that they call home. A place that harbored inequality and sometimes police brutality. But Baldwin, Nina, and Miles were harborers of hope. Even though they didn't always like or understand what was happening there, they always had hope and healing for a place that they called home. Thank you. Okay, and while I'm talking, I'm going to read one more. Even though we have a lot going on socially and pandemic wise, we also always want to keep positivity in the forefront, whether it relates to social issues, disability, inclusion, all of those kinds of things. And so I want to read another poem. It's called The Road to Happy. A road that's bumpy, not paved, riding on this pathway every day in search of ceaseless celebration. The road to happy. What's on it and how to get there? Just move, travel to places that aren't perfect. To places that aren't perfect, but they put me at ease. Perfect for engulfing me in cultural evolution. Vibrant cities, shamelessly showing off an ever-flowing stream of cafes, museums, beautiful art, and people. Perfect places. They have good cuisines, beaches, mountains, and plains. The road to happy. Park in one place. Meditate. Pray with gratitude, thankfulness. I am blessed. Pray again. For peace, a release of anything keeping me chained in one place. Find grace, and then pray again. The road to happy. Work my work. The sign on the side of the road says independence. Begin this. grab the steering wheel tight, make slow turns when I need to, put more gas to the pedal when I need to, pump the brakes when I need to, and no matter what, just drive. That's the road to happy.
Good.
All right. All right, Tony, would you like to share one more poem with us?
Oh, yeah. Okay. So this one is in a book that I not published yet. So you're
Okay.
gonna get a first-hand look at it. This poem is called Just Right. Grab that pen and put it to paper. Let the words in your soul pour out. Release the pain, heartache, and love with every stroke. Each line should carry the weight of truth or fiction. Make it whatever you like. Make Make it whatever you like, whether it be a poem, a thought, a story, or an essay. It doesn't need to make sense. It doesn't need to rhyme, nor does it need to have a point or an ending. Just right. Show the world your hidden talent or keep it to yourself. Just right. Write anything.
Very nice. Very nice. Okay, Ruth, you want to share one more with us?
Yeah. Sometimes it's good to give somebody space, give them a chance to be by themselves and to let them sort out their thoughts before you come back and socialize with them. Socializing is sometimes like a give and take kind of thing. You can socialize with one person, you can socialize with a group. Every experience is different.
Yes, very true. Very true. And giving space sometimes that helps make the friendship even stronger. You know, let people
That's right.
yeah, let them grow within themselves and then come back and add what they learned to the friendship. So I like that. Very good. Thank you, Ruth. All right, so Isabelle, if it's okay with you, I see you have another piece here. How about if we share diamonds and rubies?
Okay, can you read it for me?
Sure.
Because I'm having a hard time breathing.
No problem at all. I have it open, so we're good to go, okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, diamonds and rubies. Diamonds and red rubies are so beautiful. Red is a color to represent amour and real passion between two lovers, to give the true affection toward one another as human beings in this lifetime. And that's diamonds and rubies. Okay, so thank you everyone for sharing. Joanne, will we be able to maybe open up for questions? And then maybe in the meantime, I can mention the books that everyone has.
Absolutely. And if anybody wants to unmute themselves and chat with the poets, go right ahead.
So I'll mention first Isabelle's book. It's available on Amazon. It's titled The Reflections of Isabelle Molasses. So if anyone wants to support Isabelle, you can go on Amazon and get her book. And Tony has several poetry books. Tony, they're available on Lulu, is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay, do you want to mention the names of any of them?
Okay, I have
Searching.
I have God's Gift to Me. Let's see if I can remember them all. God's Gift to Me, Artful Words, Black, and there's one more and I can't remember what it was called right now. Oh no.
They can search by your name though, right?
Yeah, you can also search for my name. And then I have one coming out maybe by the end of summer. Is this one called Rooted in Verse? And I actually painted that picture.
Oh, nice, nice. Okay, so if anyone's searching Lulu, just search Anthony Lafond and you can find his books. And also Isabelle did the artwork for the cover of her book. I know Ruth and I have talked in the past about possibly doing a JESPY compilation book. And so it's very possible that Ruth's work will be included in something like that. So be on the lookout for that. That's a strong possibility. And then my book is titled Stages, and it's also available on Amazon. And I have other books as well, children's activity books, and they're available through my website, SonyaKimble-Ellis.com. So www.SonyaKimble-Ellis.com. Okay, so we're open to any questions anyone may have, and thank you all for joining us.
I'm not sure that anybody has any questions, but I have to say that I feel so blessed that you all shared your voices with us tonight. I really enjoyed your poetry. And Tony, I think you're my new favorite poet. I'm serious. And I'm going to look for your books.
Yes,
Thank you.
Tony's been writing for a long time. A variety of types of pieces that he writes. And there's novels as well. So very versatile, you know, just in terms of types of writing that he does. Isabelle as well. Oh, I see one comment from Amy Engel. Thank you, Amy. Isabelle writes poems, essays. Ruth writes essays. So we have, you know, our writers are very versatile and like to try a lot of different things, which is really inspiring for sure. You know, so I just want to encourage them to keep writing.
It's a great way to get your feelings and express so many emotions that you can't really do through other ways.
Yes, exactly. Yes. And yeah, and again, thank you to Amy for her comment. She's the director of development at JESPY House. And oh, we see Patricia McGeechan. Oh, okay, Patricia's a friend. Thank you, Pat, for joining. But also, you know, if it's okay, since we have a few more minutes, just maybe kind of ask the writers what it is that inspired them to start writing. If it was just out of a hobby, like enjoying to do it, or what was the inspiration for starting to write?
For me,
Sure.
I like to read.
Mm-hmm. So you enjoy reading other writers?
Yeah. So I try to copy and do my own.
What types of things do you like to read, Ruth?
I like to read the classic novels, like Little Women.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, you can never go wrong with those.
Tom Sawyer.
Yeah, they stood the test of time, so you can't really go wrong with those.
So I started writing when I was 15, 16, about 16 years old. I was in English class and we read a poem about an Indian and his horse. And the poem was about the Indian not being able to do anything to live without his horse. So the teacher gives us a homework assignment and says, write about something that you can't live without. And at that time, people were writing about their flip phone, cell phones, and the computers. And me, I was like, you know what? I should write about my wheelchair. And that's where the poem God's Gift from Me came from. That was my very first poem. And within a week, it circulated to school, and everybody was like, oh, it's a really great poem. And I didn't know what they're talking about. And it was actually a last minute homework assignment because I like to procrastinate. I put it together in like 2 minutes, and that's what kicked me off to start writing. I found out I had a talent, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna do this. This is awesome. But yeah.
Nice.
So Tony, you've been writing for how many years?
Since I was 16. Right now I'm 40 years old.
Wow.
I don't really want to say I'm 40 right now. Yeah, that's a little old. But
so you have a whole body of work. You have a lot of
yeah, I got a lot under my belt there. And I've been doing a lot with Matheny and with Sonya and Isabelle. And I actually, where I used to live, I went to Madison, and they have a open mic, and that was the first time I ever did that. And I met one of my good friends, Carly, who's actually in the audience today. I met her there, and now I like to speak and and read my poems out loud. I used to not like that, but now I do.
It's nice to hear the poems read by the poets themselves. I like that.
Yeah, it makes a big difference. You can see how they meant it to come across, you know, which is one good thing. And then part two to that, there's two sides to it, I kind of feel. You know, when other people read your work, they can they get what you're saying or your intention, but they can also add their interpretation, like how it affects or impacts them. So I
And
think
even just the cadence of the poem, you know, you may read it in a totally different speed than it was intended. So hearing the author's emphasis and stops and starts, I think it adds a lot to the poem itself.
I agree. Okay, so I think we have Isabelle. Isabelle, do you want to mention why you started writing or why you enjoy writing?
Because I had a dream about writing my own book.
So that's what got you started?
And I found out for teaching art this program. I also started to write on my own at home.
Got you. Okay, and look where it's grown to for all of you guys.
Yes. So I'm thankful for my writing abilities.
Yes, we are too. So I think I'll just add too, you know, I'm similar to Tony in that I started writing at a very young age, probably 10 years old. Just started writing poetry and just continued, you know, through high school. And I think just kind of people's reaction to it and encouragement just kind of encouraged me to keep going, to keep writing. And it just continued from there, writing poems, writing, you know, song lyrics and articles and that kind of thing. And once you get the bug and start doing it, you just continue on. And it's a good form of self-expression. And it's good to have the interaction with other writers too. That kind of helps as well.
I was just wondering, come across, if you come across something and you just immediately say, I have to write a poem about that. Does that happen very often?
It does for me. You know, something may happen or something could pop into my head. I've had things.
My battery is running low. I have to get off now.
Okay, all right.
Thank
Ruth.
you very much, Ruth.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us, Ruth.
Thank you.
So I guess the last thing I'll say is that things pop into my head, you know, it could be like in the middle of the night or anytime, and I'll just kind of get up and just at least write down the title or a line or two, because a lot of times it won't come back to you the same way that it did that, you know, the first time that it kind of hits you. So, and you know, that's when you know, you've been bitten by the bug, that you have to
That's true.
express whatever it is that kind of comes to you.
Beautiful.
Sure. Yeah. But thank you so much for hosting us.
Oh, happy to do it. Oh, you know, I think is this your third program with the library or your fourth?
Oh, let's see. It's actually, as far as a poetry reading, it's the second. I've done other programs with the library,
Yeah.
children-oriented program.
What I'm going to do is, you know, I will have this video put up on our YouTube channel. It may take a week or so to get it up, but everybody will be able to see it again.
Oh, great. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Thanks for participating, Isabel. It's nice to hear your work.
You're welcome.
Well, I'm going to say goodnight to everybody. If there's nothing else to add, and a great big thank you. And maybe we'll see you again next Poetry Month next year.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you so much, Joanne. We appreciate it.
Sure. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Bye.
Take care, Tony. Bye, Isabel.